That's weird.
It's a very dark intro. This is Soccer Chat, the goth intro.
Right?
This is kind of like how the Red Wolves game started, so
it kind of fits, is what you're saying.
Pretty much to it.
That's good stuff. All right, here we go.
Please be patient.
Hey, this is Wolfman Jeff here in Huntsville with
Carly Banks.
The Carly Banks. Second goal scorer. Who scored the first goal? I didn't hear
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, and the second was Ann?
I scored the second one.
No, the third one, sorry.
That was Sam.
Sam, okay, fantastic. So 0-3, pretty commanding. Now, the side came together fairly quickly. I know a lot of the players play at university during most of the time, so you only had a couple of weeks to pull this together. What do you attribute this win to?
Just everyone coming together and working hard. It was pure hard work out there, and we just embraced the team as quickly as possible, and we love the game, so we're out there working hard.
So I could tell you guys really love the crosses. It must have been all your times playing at Chattanooga Christian School that makes you love the crosses so much.
Oh, yes.
There we go. So, all right, so you guys got your first home game coming up in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So what do you want to say to the fans in Chattanooga, which are myriad for you, Carly? What do you want to say to get them to come out?
Hey guys, we're coming out to perform, and we're ready for you guys to come out and see us, and we can't wait. Brand new stadium, brand new here. Let's go.
I can't wait to see you guys, what you do on the new stadium. Carly, it's a pleasure to know you, and you guys did fantastic. Chattanooga Red Wolves, ow! Mission accomplished.
Soccer Chat with 2 T's, because we're going to chat about soccer, but we're also in Chattanooga, so it's like a play on words. And, Chattanooga is a soccer city.
Eat your heart out, Alexi. Look at this. In off the post. And it's off the post. And it came off both posts and it came out. Are you kidding? Unbelievable.
All right, boys.
All
Game
right.
just ended. What are we thinking?
Ooh, dodge that bullet. That's my thought right there. Yeah, because we got up behind quickly, and I thought, okay, we can rally. Second half, when they got that second goal, I was actually pretty concerned. I thought, okay, what's going on here? But obviously, I think there was one person in particular. There's lots of things happened, but I think Marky Hernandez was the most, the easiest to point at is what really changed that game around. And obviously, Josue, who got the brace.
So I'd like to give credit to Jonathan Ricketts for the first assist, making it look as fancy as possible. And the second one as well. They were flat most of that game. It felt like there was a bit of a hangover on the road. Not the sharpest game that they've played. So for them to rally and come back from 2 goals down, that's Oblada ball. He's talked to us about that all the time. You're going to see a team that is never going to quit and is never going to roll over, and that's what happened.
I'm wondering if maybe they got a hold of some bad chowder and it took a whole first half for it to kind of process. So
bad chowder? Is that what we're going with?
Bad chowder.
Bad chowder?
There's no such thing.
Well, it depends. If it's the red chowder, maybe there's some bad stuff there, because that stuff's it's not quite the same as New England clam chowder, but I'm just that's just my view. But anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and get into the goals. Let's start with the most embarrassing of them. And here's what that one looked like. In theory.
Renix searches for it, finds it, out to Presley. A lot of space for Presley. Opportunity, cuts it across, deflects, and it takes a favorable New England bounce. The scoreless streak is over. It's an own goal, but they'll take it any way they can get it. They have.
So my first reaction when that happened was, why is he falling down? Like, what's happening that's causing him to fall down? you watch the slower replay and you realize it's because he's leaning back with his foot to try to deflect it. He thinks it's going in the corner. I don't know that it was.
Yeah, I think my initial reaction was that does Ramos not trust Mora? But then I'm seeing it again in slower motion. I think he just lost his footing because he was leaning backwards. It was embarrassing either way.
It was quite a bit of a bummer. I'm with you, Adam. I think that shot's going wide, and it's just another, dragging his foot, pulling it in, when really if he had just kind of let it go, it would have gone harmlessly for a goal kick. So
yeah, that was probably the most disappointing part, was that if you watch it back and you're like, that should have been 0-0 at half. So we go into half, we're down 1-0. What's your thoughts at halftime? What'd you think of how the players were playing?
I feel like that first half, we were really in control. We had more of the possession. We were the better passing team. Other than this one goal where they kind of got stretched and the attack led to the goal, it was our half, and I felt like there was a goal in us coming into the second.
Honestly, I felt like it was a step below from North Texas. And it may have been because I'm comparing the end of North Texas to the beginning of the New England match, and it just seemed like we weren't as organized as we were a week earlier. But it got, I was concerned going in the half, but I also knew we're only down one goal. It could turn around very quickly.
Yeah. So my view of the first half was we didn't look like it wasn't as clean. The passing wasn't as clean as I think we saw in the North Texas game. And there was nothing about their defense that made me think it shouldn't have been clean. Like, it wasn't like they were controlling. They did seem like they very much wanted to sit back and play over the top. I think that was their strategy, but I really felt like we were going into the second half, even though we're down 1-0, I still felt pretty good, and then, we're about, a little into the 53rd minute of the second half. And, this is what happens there.
Renix takes it down. Presley joins the fray. Renix takes his space, now finds Presley. Shouts for the flag. It stays down in the middle. Buck finishes it.
So that was a good goal on their part. The deflection perfectly landed for him, but I'm gonna ignore Alex having his hand up because the ref didn't have his up. So if you ignore offsides, great build up.
Don't ignore offsides. If we're on VAR and they're doing the little lines and that's being called back. He was offside when that initial cross came across the face of goal.
You're talking not the one the Red Bulls said offside. You're talking about the goal scorer, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. I turned and looked at my wife, and it was like, he's offsides. Like, where's the flag? Like, that was an easy call. And I think, honestly, the Red Bulls pulled it on themselves because I think they distracted the linesman. The linesman's watching the ball raise their hand up and not paying attention to what's actually happening with the ball in the player.
Yeah, I think Chattanooga, they would have put the flag up as soon as the defender's hands went up, because that's just what Chattanooga referees do around here.
I also think we just opened up too much space right through there. So we kind of not invited them in, but we could have done more to stop it before it got to that point.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All of my complaints being said, the first 10 minutes of the second half, we were very manic and excitable and clearing the ball, and it was not a good half of soccer. So regardless of the call, we were not playing well enough at that time.
Yeah, and so then we start getting a glimpse of what's to come, because I think Markey's not fully healthy yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think Wally's not fully healthy yet. And so then they bring in Markey, and everything kind of changes from that point. Would you guys agree with that statement?
Absolutely. Yes. Just like the last game. I think once Markey came on, it just raised to another notch.
And I want to give credit to before we show the clip to Jonathan Ricketts for choosing to let the ball go to his back foot for this wonderful pass. I think that's important. All right, so let me pull this clip up for us real quick. It's taking a second. Let's see.
Let me say, I think Marquis coming on. I think this is what they've wanted all along. Now that they've got the kind of depth with wingers that they can bring Marquis on in that last 30 minutes to run at tired defenders makes him twice as dangerous as a Marquis Hernandez that plays 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. And we saw it. He was really hard to handle. And so here's that first goal.
Provide that spark, step over, end line, pass Buck, sends it in towards Frischnick. Oh, and a whiff on it. The second opportunity deflects in for Chattanooga.
So, first off, the announcer completely misses it, right? And says Frischnick, which was enjoyable. It was Ricketts. And my wife was trying to help him out. She's like, I think that hit off someone and deflected. That's why no, that's just a full-on whiff. In all honesty, that's the type of shot that typically gets launched over top like a field goal when you take those volleys. So I think it kind of may have worked out to our advantage. But what did you guys think?
Well, it was I was nerve-wracking while it was happening because so many things could have gone south with that. And so there was I think a fair bit of luck, but there's also a lot of skill. And really happy with Josue, his control of getting that in at the end. So
yeah, it was excellent of Ricketts to see him hovering outside the 18 and to fake the volley shot and play it off his back leg right into his path. But you're right, Adam. It's a great job of keeping his head over the ball so that it gets buried in the net instead of going up into the nosebleeds.
Yeah, that's
going back to your earlier point. I do think before this time, that's one of the reasons I was concerned was we were so ramped up. It was like at halftime they chugged a bunch of Mountain Dew. And they were just really, overdoing it. And I was afraid that when Josue kicked it, it was going to go over because that was just the mood that it was overcompensating. And so great control at the end.
And so that brings us up to the fourth and unfortunately the final goal of the game, and another seems like probably a little bit more purposeful assist from Jonathan Ricketts on this one.
Step over from Hernandez, just like before, a cross in from the end line. Ricketts centers it across. It's that man again. Espana with 2, and we're level at 2 goals apiece. No quit in these Red Wolves.
So Espana came in at the same time, right, as Hernandez and gets that brace. What did you guys think of his play? Was it just right place, right time, or was he more influential than just those 2 shots?
Neither shot was an easy finish, so I think he deserves credit for that. And so, his effort put him in the right place to finish those off. And we've seen plenty of League One to know that those don't always go in.
Yeah,
when those guys are in the right place. In fact, there was one late in the game by New England that went over the top. With a decent block by Jason Ramos. So
I thought it was going to go off the post, actually. So,
hey,
well done, Jeff. All right, so that's the 66th minute. We still had another 25 minutes to the game. What do you guys think of the way the game ended?
I don't think it's fair. I kind of feel a little disappointed because the momentum was moving our way, and then it just kind of slid back down. And we were just overshooting again. And so it was, I felt like we had another goal in us, and I thought we had a really good chance of winning. So it was one of those things where, at the beginning of the second half, when we were down 0-2, I thought, oh, this was horrible. And if you told me it was going to end up 2-2, I would have been delighted. But because we had so much time left, and we were doing so well in rapid succession on those 2 goals, it felt the momentum had dropped down. So
I feel like there was some growth by Jimmy Obleda in coaching this game, and that you're right. We had a lot of time and momentum, and there was another about 15 minutes where it felt like we were pressing the issue and looking for that third goal. But when we got to about the 80th minute, it seemed like he said to everyone, "Hey, let's not over extend ourselves. Let's come back and let's take this point on the road and let's play smart." And I think that's really how they closed out the game.
And that's why I think why you saw Daniel Navarro come in as one of the last subs, right? Because he pulled him out of witness protection and was like, "Hey, it's time for you to show your face again. Don't get a concussion." And
the luscious curls had to
Well, I mean, you look at the height, at the bulk from Ramos and Navarro in the back, and that right there is, I think that's I hoping to see that more, and that's what I was hoping to see at the beginning, and so I think that's really helpful. And I think when we have set pieces, having another really big, strong body like that, it's gonna be really beneficial. So it's good to see our man Navarro back in there, but it did feel like we wanted to take care of business, and if we got a chance to counter, we were going to take it.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for this Off the Post. Anybody else have anything else?
So some shout outs. Dalton Red Wolves, first game down in Dalton. They play at Lakeshore Park, which is the home of the Dalton State Roadrunners down in Dalton. And if you have season tickets, you have free admission to those games. So, of course, today there was a conflict, but over the summer, take a chance, go down to Dalton. There's a lot of fun soccer to watch. They fell 2-1 to East Atlanta, so their first game didn't go as well, but they did show a little bit of resilience as well, getting a goal after going down 2-1. And then also shout out Biggleswade United Ladies, Bedfordshire County champions. So congrats to them.
Nice.
Well done.
Very good. I'll give it a shout out to you, Adam. You really are pulling together these clips and having them ready in very short amount of time. So thank you for that. I think it really makes a big difference on these Off the Post.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And if, feel free to join us for the next live one. Our goal is to have these, within 10 minutes of the game ending when possible. Don't know if we're going to be able to do anything like that at home games, at least not with clips and such. But on these away games, assuming it's not in Tucson, we hope to get those out. So, put some comments in there. We'd love to get some feedback in the future. So on that note, bye.
Bye. Oh, that was sad. That was so sad. We need